Hey everybody, Scroft here. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. Welcome back to our Bevington Farm series. You actually joined me probably 3 hours into gameplay. I've been playing for, the last 3 hours. Setting up for this episode. I did say in the last one we're going to move forward. So we're now in July, day 1. I've actually been admiring something that, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I must have overlooked this because I've seen no updates, no notifications of it anywhere. But the grazing system in Farming Simulator 25 has completely won me over with one small, addition that for some reason, I've never seen this happen before as the cows or any animals have been grazing. So I'm completely don't know what's going on. But I mentioned it in the last episode that I had all these weird spots, and it kind of, obviously I've progressed 3 days from the last month, then another 3 days. So pretty much I've progressed about 5 in-game days now, and I've been watching this change and look amazing. Pretty much is the only way to describe it. So these two pastures here are my grazing one for cows. I've actually got my beef stock in this one, and I've got my dairy stock in this one. So as the cows are grazing, we get some food. We get the meadow grass sitting at 74,000. It's actually really good because the end of the month, so last month was June. Let me just check that. Yeah, June. So the end of June actually got down to around 10,000, and the cows are actually consuming. Well, they are just under 12,000 a pop. So the meadow grass is coming in real handy, and it's helping me out, saving me, doing some TMR mixes. But I've noticed as it's been, being consumed and the grazing system has been taking effect, and we get it turn into meadow grass. I've been noticing that the field starts to look like it's being chopped. And you can probably just tell, if I just dip down, you can see this bit here. It might be difficult to notice, but that section there's higher, taller grass. And honestly, the last in-game month was when I really noticed it, but it's all over the fields. All over the field, you can see there's lower bits, higher bits, and it looks like the cows are actually grazing it. Now, just to give you an idea, I actually do this all the time in FS25 for the farmhand. So when my cows are out, let's say in summer in the farmhand, I actually go around with the painting tool for the grass and scatter it all at different heights so it looks like the cows are grazing, but it's happening in game. Now, someone's going to have to help me in the comment section. Have I completely overlooked this? Is this new? Or has this been there? I don't know. It's 3 options. It's new. I've overlooked it and it's been, included at some point, or it's been there since the start. I don't know, but I'm pretty certain I've not missed this. But look at this field. Can you see it? All the different heights of the grass. You can probably hear the Fiat Agri. There you go. It's the perfect shot. Fiat Agri's out tedding. We will get into that in a second. But yeah, I absolutely love this. It's brilliant. It looks good. You can see it taking effect in the fields over here. The last in-game month, there was a lot more green. So some of it's grown back, some of it's been consumed and so on. But man, what an improvement that is. Small things like that. Yes, Giants. I mean, if it is you and it's an update and you've just kind of not said anything about it, then I'm taking my hat off because it's something that, makes a big difference to me. They're the things that stand out. I love the idea now of putting my cows out in the pasture in the summer, they're grazing, but you can see them visually graze. So when I know it looks low, the grass actually looks like it's all gone, I know that I'm probably going to have to start feeding in this pasture because they've consumed it all. And I like that. And you can tell this one looks a little bit maybe more like it's been chopped or grazed, should I say, by the cows compared to the beef stock one up here, which would make sense because this is a bigger field. So there's more grass to go around. But yeah, I think it looks mint. I do. I actually think it looks awesome. So yeah, shout out to Giant Software there. Anyway, let's get into what's going on. All the crops are ready to harvest, but we're not going to be doing that in this episode. But I just want to show you that all the crops are ready to go. So we've got our oat fields and our barley fields. I did all so I sorted out all the weeds. So we had 3 fields here left to herbicide. Left to spray herbicide in, so I got that sorted. And I didn't do anything with these 2 fields up here because it's strange that I've got weeds in grass anyway. So I'm not going to, I don't know, I might replant in and just potentially subsoil or something something that stops the weeds growing back. I don't know why I'm getting it with grass fields, though. It's really strange. So we'll have a look at that. Hopefully, we won't be seeing that again, though. And tram lines will go in next time round. So, you know, we don't have to worry about tram lines. We can harvest anyway now. So next time we plant in, we can just, yeah, get the tram lines sorted out. And the tram lines will be sorted out. And we can go from there. But let's have a look first at moisture. Moisture's playing a big part right now because I need to make hay. We're doing second cut, and I've always said that this month was probably going to be the best month to cut. Now, I've looked at the weather, and I needed to wait for the minimum, which is July day 1, because that's when the grass was ready to harvest the next time around. That's when it was fully grown, ready to chop. Now, unfortunately, June day 4, the day before this, I had like 36 degrees temperature. And I have got some warm days coming up. This is a warm day. You know, we're getting up to like 28 is the peak, which is a nice sunny day. And then we've got 31 with a bit of cloud, which is I'm fine with. But then it's weird because we get even hotter the next 2 days, but we've got rain. So we don't want the grass drying out and turn into hay whilst it's, obviously got rain forecast. So these next 2 in-game days, July day 1 and 2, are the perfect days to make hay. Now, I've got a problem with it. Now, and it's the moisture. Some of the fields are just insane. Like, they're almost 100% moisture. So that means that when I chop them, they're not going to do this when I ted it, which is turn straight to hay. If we have a look at the moisture on this field, you can see, like, it's about, well, I've got a section that's 34, which is why this is still at grass. This has all been tedded, so it's been activated to start drying. So if you look at the bottom right, I'll zoom in the video for you where it just says grass. That's the amount currently directly under me. So 74 litres of grass. The moisture is 29.67, and it needs to be 12.5 to turn to hay. So when it says, like, yes, obviously it's been activated and stuff, when it says yes, it means you need to activate it. So if we go and have a look at probably this section of the field, you can see now the grass underneath me, which is, again, 37.812. That'll be the moisture of it. It needs to be tedded, so it says, you know, needs tedding, yes, and that activates the drying process, which is what's happening over here. So this bit, 34.32, will go down to around 12.5, and then it'll turn into hay. That's the whole idea. So we can row it up and everything after we ted it. Now, I've done the mowing in this field and the mowing in that field. I also did the tedding in that field, but then I decided to start recording, and I set the work going with the tedder in this field. Yeah, this one's obviously a lot better, but it's just so strange. I mean, it's really strange how the moisture is so different in areas. Like here, this section of the field, I've got like 0.6% moisture, so it's really dry. Whereas over here, it's like 30-odd%. Now, I know I'm running around fast, but it's just to show you all this stuff. Now, in this field, this was 100%. Like now it's 89. Now, we want to make hay from this. It's going to take ages to dry this section out. And then probably over here, it's still in the red and high. But then up at the top, it's 8. Now, I would like to think it's probably something to do with maybe the geometry of the map or the hills that I've set. Because right up at the top here, all the moisture would run down. So if it runs down, it's going to collect, and then it would be like 57. Potentially. Like, does the shade play an impact? Like, does the shade have an impact? I don't know. But I know one thing. There's only one section really that's going to turn to hay. Well, except this bit. So this bit's like 3.5. Honestly, it's so strange. What I'd love Ara to do is 2 things. First thing, I'd love him to implement it into this. So you're a bit like Precision Farming have done, where we've got a nitrogen map. Let's have a moisture map. Let's have a moisture map if that's possible, so we can visualize and see what's going on with the certain areas and the blocks, because they're all set up now into like individual blocks. So if we go to the settings, and then when you go down to the moisture, wherever that is now, need to be in actual game settings, that would help. So rebuild moisture map. So if you do this at 50-50, then the blocks are massive. I do that for performance reasons. So, I mean, that's not helping, I guess. Maybe if it was smaller, maybe if it was like smaller blocks. I think it recommends 4, but I've found when you do that, the saving takes forever. Like, and also you take a hit performance-wise. So, not sure. Really not sure. Like the end of May to like the first 3 days in June, we had a lot of rain. So I expect it to be higher. And I think the whole map's probably going to be the same. You can see, I mean, to be honest, it's not too bad. Like 50% of the fields out on the map are actually where you'd want them to be. It's just this section's not, it's not very good. And it looks like that's my fields. Typical. It would be my fields. So I don't know what's gone on there. I don't know. I don't know if there's something I should be doing in GE to kind of make it work better. I'm not entirely sure. But I know one thing. The fields are very, problematic when it comes to drying and moisture and all that stuff. But I'm not going to let it beat me. I will be carrying on. We're going to make hay. If it has to, dry for the full shabam, I have got the settings, just so you know, on the maximum drying. So if we go back down to it, you can see that I've got this 50% gain. So that's reduced quite a bit. So it means if there's any rain that hits the grass, it won't go up as quick. But the grass moisture drying modifier is maximum. You can't go any higher than 200%. So it's doubled. The speed's basically doubled, which isn't amazing in itself. It's sounds good, obviously 200%, but it's only doubled. So it's still going to take some time to go down. Like this is, this grass right here in this spot is 41%. If I came back at maybe 9 a.m., I doubt it would be even 40%. So it's going to take some time. It really is. But anyway, we're going to get some mowing done. Now that them two big fields are out of the way, I wanted to get them ones done so we can focus on the small ones, because I feel like that's probably a better idea in the video, the length of the video, what I want it to be, to get them fields done, tedded and, rowed up and then potentially baled, depending on what happens. There's a couple of things I want to show off first and talk about. First thing is harvester. We haven't got one, and I did mention that it's something that I need to buy. So I'm going to get a harvester, but I'm going to get it on finance because I think it's the most realistic thing to do. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of money, but going on a hunt for a second-hand harvester and then doing getting 50% off and paying half the price, I think it's probably unrealistic. They kind of hold the value quite a lot because this, they're a big piece of kit and impressive to own. I think if we are going to focus on being an arable farm, which we are, realistically, a farmer would buy one on finance. It'd take him a long time to pay it off. So we're going to do the same. We'll get a decent harvester, maybe a Lexion, something along them lines. I think that'd suit the map and the location quite well, or even in New Holland. We'll get something definitely. There's a lot of options. I've downloaded quite a few mods, and even the Evians are really nice. That is an option. Get one on finance. I mean, I'd love to get that one. It looks really nice to try them, but I don't quite think we have the fields to justify that. But the Evian 410 and 450 are nice. But what's that's the 450. So that's the base game one. I mean, it's a nice harvester. I'd like to get around maybe 8 meters on the header. I think that's probably the best shout. I'd do 6, but I just think 6 is a little bit small for the amount of fields we've got. I think that's probably just going to take a bit more time. Ideal and comfortable is probably about 8 meters. So we'll see what we can do. But we are going to get that sorted probably for the next episode. I'll do it at the start. But let's talk about the mower as well, because I have used this new setup now, which I got that one second-hand. I got it pretty much 50% off, which is the butterfly mower on the back. You can see it's got the mowers and it's got the conditioner on. And then I also wanted to get this second-hand, but I couldn't find it in time, so I had to buy this brand new. It was like $20,000 for the front mower, but now we've got a really good mower setup. And you can see the money is actually shot down. That's because I've purchased, the front mower, but I also did 2 other things. One thing was quite important. I had to do it, and I mentioned it in the past, which is I upgraded the T7. So originally it was 230 horsepower. I put 30%. I put £30,000 into this, invested into it, and maxed it out. So it's now 300 horsepower. Well, 302 to be exact. So now we're rocking, quite a lot more. Double. Well, we've upped it by 70 horsepower. So it's not bad at all. It means that's going to be our main focus tractor. I've also got rid of the Massey Ferguson, which I said in the last episode I made a mistake on, and I went again with the JCB load up. But I got a nice one, and I got it second hand. I finally came back, the search did. I got this 50% off, which I thought was a really good deal. and I also went with the Q-Fit attachments, which is super cool that Rossa Mods adds that into his setup on these JCB loadals. If you're not sure what the Q-Fit does, it's basically just a JCB's patterned kind of like connector. So on the boom, and then you've got there's this unit here. That's the Q-Fit where it says. So it just connects to it a lot easier. You don't really need to get out a cab. It's just got like a hydraulic that you connect to it, and then you press in cab one of your hydraulics, and it locks on. So it's actually a lot quicker for the farmer to use. I then bought a Q-Fit bucket. I then also bought a Q-Fit pallet fork. I'm just trying to figure out. I bought these brand new, so why are they damaged? Why's the paintwork damaged? I know I've had hail. Is that hail damage? I think it might be, but I know I've got... Where's the... So I've got disaster destructions to visual only. So hail shouldn't do crop damage. But I'm pretty certain that the realistic weather mod does make it so you can get like paint damage to equipment if it's out in the open from hail. And you can see that it's actually damaged this stuff quite bad. So, yeah, look at everything's got crazy paint damage to it. That's, I don't know, I think that's a bit extreme, I will be honest. Not quite sure it would damage that much unless it was like full-on golf balls. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It reminds me to put things under cover, though. I like that idea, that it gives you the incentive to hide things, put things under cover. Like, all this stuff shouldn't have pretty much any paint damage, and it hasn't. So, yeah, that looks like it's going to be an expensive problem to fix, to get the paint sorted out on that. But anyway, we've got mowing to do. One other thing, which is actually really cool. So in the realistic livestock mod, there's been an update, and you can probably already see it. But the Hereford cow has been included. Now, he's not a 3D modeler. He's made that clear. Arrow is definitely not a 3D modeler. He's more obviously a script modder, and a very talented one at that. So he, I appreciate the fact that he's tried to change it up to kind of identify which one the Hereford cow is going to be. So you can see the Hereford's got a white head, and that's a bull. So I just purchased it to show. I'm going to keep it and just fatten it up and then sell it on for a bit of money. But I did pick up a Hereford bull to show you. So it's kind of got, just a white head. Obviously, you can do quite a few more. It would be perfect if it was modelled, but he's not a 3D modeler. And I know, he does have a Ko-fi page if you want to support him. Potentially, with that money, he could go off and buy models, and if there is any out there to use, maybe animal models and things like that. So there is a way to support him, and that's, could be where the actual support goes. A lot of modders do that. Right, so, anyway, that is everything. I've had a good ramble there, spoke a lot, but it's time to get some mowing done. I think the first thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to just see which we got on offer there, because I'm hoping it is, typical. It's now come up. All three have come up. That is completely typical. I mean, this, for starters, is a bargain. Like, this is the feed mixer I wanted. It's 71% off. That is the front mower that I've had to buy for 22,000. It's now 13,000. But this is the tractor I finally chose for my second tiered tractor. I've got the Fiat Agri is my lower end one, so that's like 140. I've got my 300 horsepower T7, and I decided to go with a 700 Vario SCR. It's not the brand new kind of like generation one, but I really like this old school kind of green colour to it, because you can change that, like you can. It's not like you're tied to that, and you could go to the green, and then it kind of looks modern again. But I just really like that old school, that old and natural green colour to the Fendt, and I think this is a perfect tractor. Currently, it's 150, so we'd have to put a bit of money in to get it to like, well, we don't technically need it to be 188. We could just go, we don't need it to be 209. We could put it to 188. 50 kilometres, which is obviously really good. But it's 97,000, so we can't even afford it because of the extras that we've put on. But that is the tractor I want, that one. I really like that fence. I think it's going to suit the farm quite well. And I like the natural green colour to it. So we're going to buy that. Definitely going to buy that. I'm not going to do it now because we want to focus on getting the mowing done. But I am going to buy pretty much both of these and try and get a good deal. It's a shame I can't buy it for 59,000 because that would have been perfect. I mean, what I can actually do, just because I'm worried now that I'm going to lose the offer, especially for this, is let's buy this and we'll have to pick it up from the store. I mean, it's got some more. It looks like it was left out in the hail as well. But let's buy it. Let's buy it. I mean, we could get a financing option on this. Well, we're going to be paying off quite a lot for some time, but, you know, we need the tractors. We need the equipment. I want this series to be something I enjoy and get to try out this kind of, kit. It can go up to 246, which is nice to know that we can up it. I'll tell you what, let's make it 209 and we'll go with the 50 kilometers. Let's pick some Michelin tires, but they don't need to be. We don't want narrow tires. That is insane. Did you see that? That's insane. Look at the wheel arch. When it goes to narrow tires, it really goes to narrow tires. I don't know why that makes me laugh so much. It's just pretty ridiculous. But I'm going to make sure I do spraying with that from now on, just so I can actually see that in action. Maybe we go back to the trailer bogs. I kind of think they're too beefy in size. I won't need weighted wheels, I don't think, because I'm not going to be doing planting with this. So let's just leave it at that. Do we go with the chrome exhaust? It's got the design line, which is obviously changing the grille to silver, and the chrome exhaust. I actually think just the chrome exhaust looks better. So let's keep that. Do we want it to have the panoramic, basically, cab, the Viso Plus? Do we want it to have plus a door to the right-hand side? Not too fussed about the door. Or we go with the standard cab, which for some reason costs more. So we've got a wiper and a bit that goes across it. Why would that cost more? Is anything changing in cab? Not really. Doesn't really look like it. Maybe that bit. I think we just go with, yeah, just keep it like that. I mean, it's nice to have more view. Mirror. So, do we want the mirror up there and the wide angle? I think we get the best ones. Get the best mirrors. I've driven a tractor now multiple times. Mirrors are very important. Very important. LED or halogen? We'll go with LED because they're obviously really good. Don't need warning signs. I actually think they always end up looking ugly when you put warning signs on. I can understand why you have to do it, you know, but because we're playing a game, we don't have to do that. Beacon light, left and right. I always think beacons, some tractors, beacons suit. Other tractors, it doesn't. And I'm 50-50 torn. What do we think? Do we think it looks better without or with? We'll leave them on. We'll leave them on. Right, well, that's an extra 10,000 just for something in cab. It looks like we're just getting a bigger monitor and a sign on the side. So I'm not fussed about it because it's not like we can interact with that too much. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to put a front loader on. I'm quite happy with the colour, even though there is some nice options with this. Not going to go pink, but, you know, we could really mix it up. Always think the Black Beauty fence were really nice. You've got that kind of fent green, which looks like an original. But I prefer the classic look. Let's go with the classic. And then rims. Oh, I mean, that does look nice. You know what? Fendt do make a nice tractor. They really do. Just trying to think what colour would match that well. Not so much the... yeah, not so much... I think black or the red, really. I mean, it might get to the point where this becomes my favourite tractor. I mean, I do like that. That kind of dark grey. Can we change the colour of the roof? I don't think we can. Or we just stick with the like a red colour. And make it seem like a proper Fendt. I think we do that. Not really sure what to do for the reg plate, so I'm just going to call it like maybe a 22. I don't know. I'd have to check the year to see when it was, but, you know, that'll do. So there we go, 114,000. It is not cheap at all. And if we go to financing, my God, £19,000 a month, or we can go to 1 year and pay 10 grand a month. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how much the... oh, God. I'm just trying to think now. Can you imagine how much it would cost to get the harvester? I think we have to go with 2 years. It's a long time. And even 5,000 a month is it's pretty hefty. I mean, what Arrow should add into the financing mod as well, because it's another mod made by Arrow, is we should get up to like 5 years, 10 years, because some farmers, like, they will go longer than 2 years. But we did it. We did it. And yeah, I know for a fact that's going to be a really good mod because of who's made it. So it's going to be pretty decent inside and a lot of detail. Good sound effects, you know, all that good stuff. Moving parts inside. Yeah. It's a stunning tractor. To be honest, Fendts get a lot of love from the German modding community, so there's always some really good ones out there. Buying Gamers and things like that, and LSFM, like, they make some cracking Fendt models for FS. So if you're playing on PC and you want to try out some, you know, you're a fan of Fendt, go check out Buying Gamers, because they make some incredible tractor mods. But I'm really happy with that. I think that was a cracking purchase. It's going to cost a lot, but, you know, we've got 2 years at paying 5,000. Yeah, 5,000 a month. Yeah, that is going to take some serious paying. That's going to take some serious income to pay off, but my God, that is a nice tractor. And we've got a bigger feed mixer now as well. But we'll come back to that. We will definitely come back to that. Looks like this one's done. So let's drive this round and then we'll start doing a bit of mowing. I'm hoping to get the little fields mowed, tedded, and we can skip through a couple of days before the rain hits and get some baling done as well. So it's going to take a long time, but what I'm going to do is stick it all in a time lapse. I'll try and trim it, keep it, you know, try and trim it, make sure it fits within one song, and so you'll see some jump cuts within the time lapse as well.
For 3 days now I've been running for my life, passing right on my tail. Just this morning ran my horse into the ground, back there along the trail. And it was nightfall when I fell upon the bank, along the riverside. No black river so deep and so wide, and I know my freedom lies on the other side. If I could go back to yesterday, She was all my hopes and dreams. To take her for my wife. She promised love forever, but I found them together in a rage I took their lives.
Welcome back, everybody. I am having a bit of a mare at the moment. This is a bit of, let's just say I've had a lot of bad luck, it feels like. Moisture mod is, at the moment, just not playing ball at all. It's really difficult to actually use, and it's really unfortunate because I love the mod and I want it to do, really well and work as it says and intended. But I've had to rebuild the moisture map again, and it's taking, I'm finding quite a big performance hit as well. Save games are high, even though I've got like the 50, so the maximum you can have, and the performance index up to 10 and all that stuff. But the drying's just not working. Like, I've had it out for 2 days in 30-degree heat and sunshine, because the moisture of that field was like 90, almost 100%. It's still all just grass. It's crazy that you can put it out in the sun, direct sun, over 30 degrees Celsius, and it's only brought it down to like 43% from what it was like mid-80s. I don't know why this field, for some reason, detects in the realistic weather mod is like a pond. It's crazy. It is, and it's almost I don't know. Like, basically, I don't know how to sort that out. I wouldn't know how to go into the mod and sort that out. I don't know what kind of coding or anything detects and determines what part of the field's going to be what. So it is unfortunate, very much so. And because I love the mod and I want it to do well, I'm also just chopping and changing it at an alarming rate, really, constantly changing like the moisture gains and all that stuff. And like, I've put this down to 200. I'm basically changing it all the time to try and find, to get it where you want it to be. But that shouldn't be the way we play it. We should play it as if we're actually more accustomed to the weather, and we farm to the weather, which I guess is why the mod exists. If it is too wet to make hay, we can't make hay. But if you're playing in 30 degrees heat and you've had 3 days of it, it's definitely warm enough to make hay. So It definitely needs a bit of fine tuning. I might actually contact her and just say, these are the issues I'm having. I know a lot of other players are probably experiencing the same because I've seen comments alike. Do you have a solution for it? Is there something that's happening on the map side, or, can you basically try and give me a bit of a solution for it? Because I know I can go and change the grass dry modifier. I can increase that to like 500%, for example, and then it would just nuke it and come down. So that is an option. Does he put higher modifiers in? But overall, I think if you give me an on and off button right now, like you do for blizzards and everything in crop fires, but for moisture, I'd turn the moisture off. I'd have grass drying on, but I'd turn the moisture off. And I'd rather the grass drying to be more like a timer. So, for example, the game goes, right, ted the grass, and then you have to leave it in above 25, let's say 25 Celsius temperature for 36 in-game hours, and then it turns to hay. Like, that's the way I'd have it. A bit like what Seasons of Old did. And then if you want a moisture meter for crops and stuff, and you test it in the morning, you need to leave it 2 hours or something, again, just a timer. That's the way I'd do it. I definitely would. In a heartbeat, I'd move away from this system because it's just, unfortunately, it's not working. It's really not working. I don't know if anyone else is having the same issues as me. If you're using the moisture mod, are you finding it on a different map? Maybe it works much better. Or are you playing the same map and experiencing the same thing, or are you playing the same map and not experiencing this? I'd love to know. The more information I can get from everyone watching, I can also put that towards maybe asking Ara if this is something that needs to change in the map, or finding out if it's the mod. But it's a shame because I wanted to do some hay and I've not been able to do it in these fields. I've got, a section over here that started off quite low, and that's drop down, so the grass is perfect on that. The moisture's gone down, but I've had to rebuild the moisture map anyway. So I wanted to make a load of hay, and I'm not having the chance to do it, unfortunately. So it is a shame. I mean, this one here is at 19.5, so that'll turn. That's not going to have an issue, and all the grass pretty much in this field's done all right. That's turned to hay. Another thing as well, which is really unfortunate because I love the fence. I actually went and got the fence. Where is it? So I went and got it, brought it down. It's brilliant, fast, beautiful tractor, nicely modelled. But for some reason, even though this is like 209 horsepower, it won't run the baler, which is only 120 horsepower requirement. It goes 2 miles an hour. And I don't know because I put it on the Fiat to go, right, is it the baler? And the baler on the Fiat is fine. It's not 2 miles an hour. So, I actually haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue. I was hoping it was going to be the baler because I love that Fendt, and I've had such bad luck with buying tractors and telehandlers and equipment. It's just like I buy one and I go, oh, there's a problem. I need to swap it out. And I'm telling you now, if this Fendt, there's a problem with running the equipment, then I'm not even worrying about money. I'm reimbursing myself. I'm getting a tractor that works, and that's it. I'm just, even if it's a base game one, we're moving past all the nonsense at that point because too many problems. And I think that's going to be the title of the video. Too many problems. Oh, God. I need to go have a cup of tea and take a break. I've spent way too long faffing about, and I need a break from faffing. Who would have thought I'd ever say that? But anyway, I'm going to leave the video there. We didn't make hay. We found loads of problems. It's been a challenge and definitely a bit of test. It's definitely tested the patience for sure. But that's FS. As we all know, that is Farming Simulator. But I'm going to leave it there. So thank you so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. And I'll see you all in the next one. See you, everybody.